Hello there and good morning. At least here in Stockholm, Sweden, it's Saturday morning and I'm in the mood for some spongy rhythm sounds. And as usual, I'm starting from a pretty, blank paper here. I do know that I'm going to start with the overdrive channel on my Mesa Boogie Mark V amp. So this one. I don't know which voicing yet. As you might be aware, this amp is very flexible. So I have on the overdrive channel, I have 3 different voicings. Hey there, Dave Mustaine, what's up? How are you doing this lovely Saturday morning? Nathan, awesome man, how are you doing? So, are you the Nathan I've been having contact with on Instagram? So I'm gonna start by just trying to determine the basic sound I want from the amp, and then I'm gonna start layering a little bit of distortion. I don't know yet if I'll be using like more traditional, just a tube screamer to kind of milk the juice out of the amp sound, or if I will be going with the Friedman pedal. Both are very cool choices. I don't have nearly as much experience tweaking the Friedman pedal though, so I always find that intriguing to see what new possibilities I will stumble upon. But even without the pedals, I can easily say that I haven't discovered everything on the amp yet. So it's always an adventure when you start tweaking this amp. And if you've been in any of the previous streams, you know that I start with one sound and I end up with a totally different sound. Okay, so hopefully everything is working now. So here is the edge channel. And it's totally dry. I don't have any reverb, delay, or any distortion, nothing. I have absolutely nothing, just the amp sound here going through my cabinet simulator. That's the More Radar. Okay, so now the edge mode. And it's voiced very differently, so you can't just go between the channels. You have to start tweaking, but still, I'm doing it just so you can hear. This is a bit more like low mids. Whereas the other one is less bass heavy, basically. The other one has more bass or low mids. So, and then I have the Mark I mode, which is very, very pushed and bassy, but it's still cool for rhythm. You can do stuff with it, but you have to tweak the EQ totally different. So where am I going to start? This is a tricky one. I think actually I'm going to go for the Mark I and we'll start. As you can hear, this is not even remotely close to a good rhythm sound. It's just way too bass heavy. So that's the first thing we're going to have to try to solve. No bass. Goodbye bass. Up with the treble. The mids don't have a good effect here. Nothing really happens. Very warm mids, but it's kind of subtle. As you can hear, it's shaping up a little bit, but it doesn't really have the bright punch you'd want from a rhythm sound. And this channel is very lead oriented, but I have had success in the past to get a really nice kind of spongy sound out of it. So we'll see if we can. Okay, so. I don't know if you can hear this, but the low end is very nice now. But the problem is we don't have the we don't have any of the high frequencies to really cut through or to do anything crunch or anything like that. We just have a very nice low end here, which I think is pretty spongy and cool. I mean, we could tighten up the bass a little bit, but it's definitely a cool foundation if we could transform this into something bright. Turn the treble all the way up. That feels kind of weird. Always when you max out the control like that, it's like, am I doing what this is intended for? So I don't really like doing that. Something a little bit weird here with tubes. We had a volume. We have some volume ups and downs here. Don't like that. Nice. Okay. What am I gonna do? So, I often use the Dynacomp, the red one here. This is a compressor, but it works surprisingly well as a booster, and I think a lot of people use it that way. I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually a pedal that's fairly common, even for metal tones, although I think it's intended as like a country compressor. So I'm going to try that. Okay, levels are already pretty high now. So it does add some brightness already, but it's not really what I'm looking for. I don't think I'm going to introduce that. I just need a more. I think I need a more powerful tone shaper now to kind of know that I'm going in the right direction here, and then we can use the slightly more subtle stuff that has impacts on the attack and that kind of thing. I'll do that later on, because if the basic sound isn't what I'm looking for, there's no point in spending lots of time trying to get the details down. So, Tube Screamer. Didn't really do what I wanted to, so I think I'll go back tweaking the amp a little bit and maybe engage the EQ here on the amp. We have a graphic EQ, it's this part, and it's extremely useful. So damn it, I think there's some troubleshooting to do that. We have these volume bumps, I don't like them. But the weird thing is they usually go away after a while, so I think it's something, maybe some oxidated something. It seems to me the tubes are fine because sound is awesome. Let's see. So you can hear without the EQ, with it. I wonder if it's just the output thing that's oxidated. Yeah, we have Dave Mustaine here. That's cool, isn't it, Daniel? Don't like this. Robin, what's up? How you doing, man? So I'm just here tweaking away. I'm still struggling finding a good starting point for my sound. So I haven't even gotten into the tone shaping and the fine tuning. I just want the basic sound to feel right. Anthrax, anything. I don't know any Anthrax, but I love the Sound of White Noise album. Pretty cool. Or actually, awesome metal album. One of the best ones out there. I don't even give a damn. Okay, so we're back here. So now we have some EQ to do here. Yeah, this isn't working at all. Damn it. It's turning into a fail. Random guide, what's up, my man? I need your support now because sound isn't working for me. I think that's something that happens to all of us. We just go. Sometimes nothing works, but I'm gonna get there. I'm sure of it. Nirvana. Canon Rock, sorry, I don't know it. This is a famous chord progression, but I can't remember it. Canon indeed. Yeah, I'll try different voicing on the amp now, see if that gets me somewhere closer. I know I've done some pretty cool stuff on that Mark 1 channel, even rhythm-wise, but now it just doesn't feel right. So for a lot of these amp voicings, there's a very cool balance to be found with the gain and the treble knob. So it's like you can turn down the treble and you can increase the gain, or if you increase the treble and then decrease the gain, you get into like a totally different mood. So I'm trying to find my way there. Ooh, camel toe. So many pedals to make your guitar sound like ass. Nice. Okay, so let's see. I don't know if it makes you any happier, but right now I don't have any pedals engaged. But I do agree that it sounds like ass, but we're getting there. So we can try the variac switch. This is a cool thing to try at the end when we've gotten closer to the sound we want. That variac switch can be really cool. Sorry, no, I don't know that. There was one lick I learned by Dave Gilmore, but I can't remember it. Okay, so this is better now. We're more in the ballpark, and we haven't even engaged any of the overdrive pedals or stuff like that I want to try on this. So it has some interesting low end here. I don't know if I have. Pretty nice. This is heading towards Marshall land. Nice. Just like on a Marshall, the other tone, the other knobs don't have any effect. You know, the mid knob has almost zero effect. A little bit, but I'm going from 0 to 100 there. Camel toe, you gotta try something new. You can't just repeat your troll comment. That's gonna land you a bad job in troll land. You have to come up with some new insult. Yeah, like the one, I can play better. That one's good as well. So, Okay, so this is better. Pretty cool. So if we increase the... Okay, that did not do good. Let's do the opposite. So now I'm trying to find the balance between like, I guess what would be power amp tube distortion and preamp, and I can do that via the master knob on the amp. Nicoli, what's up, my man? Wah pedal, that's interesting, but I'm heading for rhythm sound here, so I don't think wah is my thing right now. I do have the wah pedal. It's this one. Camel toe. This one sounds like ass, for your information. I don't know how your ass sounds, but my ass sounds pretty good. Whoops. Guitars are cool, Noel. I can only agree. But this is already pretty decent. I mean, you were looking for some like 70s rock on steroids. You could double track this sound, and I think it could work pretty cool. Has a little bit of a super bright top end there. Well, Camel Toe, you don't get to post your comments now without first acknowledging that you behave like an ass. So you have to do that first, and then you can control the sound. So we'll see. But if you other guys have a request, we can definitely try that. Can you do a solo with bends? I mean, this sound isn't solo oriented at all yet, or I mean, we'll see where we land, but I'm not even going there now. Ooh, I like it. Make a stank face. I'm not very good at making intentional faces. I don't know any Alice in Chains. Sorry. Cool band though. There is so many kids watching what you're teaching and they won't appreciate this. What is it that they won't appreciate? Best overdrive pedal, Friedman BOD or MXR 5150. Oh, interesting. So I have the BOD here, as you can see, and I opted for it because the MXR seemed to have other things in it, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it had like a noise gate and stuff like that, and so I didn't need that. And the Friedman seemed like the smaller pedal, and if you already have a noise gate, then yeah. I don't need that, the noise suppressor is enough, so I'd rather have a small pedal, and but I think both are good choices, It depends a little bit on exactly what functionality you need. Sorry, Kay, I still don't get it. What did I do that I shouldn't do for kids? I didn't understand. Should I not tweak my sound? I think kids need to tweak their tones as well, It's something you should do early on. It's going to help you. Spongy guitar rhythm sound on a Mark V, but drop the mids down to the... Yeah, I mean, the sponginess doesn't necessarily come from the EQ. It's the thing, the variac power can give you that. It's more of like an attack thing. I wouldn't say it's, you can't say that, well, if you turn down the mids, you're not going to get sponginess. Sponginess to me is how it reacts to the pick strike. And a lot of times what I've done recently is profile the sound. And in the profiler, you have so much control over the attack, so you can even further increase the sponginess. But we're not spongy yet. That should be said. Okay, it's okay. Okay, so let's try one more time the Tube Screamer. Okay, so I tried the booster now. That didn't really do what I wanted it to. Let's see what you guys are saying. Point and shoot. Oh, your name is highlighted. How come YouTube does that? I have no idea. Okay, I understand. So yeah, some kids might not realize that I'm a professional guitarist. Yeah, but that's okay. We can still get along. I think it's not a problem. Johan, yes, but you're on a Mark. I have the Mark IV, and I agree totally with you on attack. But Mark are dry and straight, so attack won't get you there. Yeah, it's true. You would get more sponginess from like a triple rectifier. That's true. But I'm just looking for an inspirational sound. I'm not looking to sound like if I'm playing a rectifier on the Mark amp. That's totally fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah, Camel Toe, you know what? I actually am looking to get a Fender at some point. Not a twin reverb, but a deluxe reverb. That would be my dream amp right now to complement this one. We'll see. Metal Zone, yeah, pretty cool. It's not something I would use, but it's actually a pretty flexible pedal. You can do a lot of stuff with it, and Yeah, it's a classic, so I don't mind it. I don't think I'll be getting one soon, but I've played one pretty much. I had a student who had them, used to come, he used to bring it every time, just to get his sound, you know. So, and it sounded good. We could even get some like low gain stuff with it. It didn't sound extremely bad. Okay. Okay. So the Tube Screamers was okay. This is sounding pretty decent. I mean, we're getting there, right? This is more... I don't know what you guys say. It's not super high gain yet, but it's... it has a good feel now, I think. Heavy metal version of Smells Like Teen Spirit. Okay. Load up on guns. Bring your friends. Nah, we don't want that version. The original is too cool. Summon, yeah, I played in a few bands. It's been a long time now. And the last like band experiences were more collab based, so like online collabs. I did quite a few of those, especially in the early GMC days. It's been a long time now. I would love to play with someone, just to get jam and get into a cool groove. That would be awesome. Tony, you're gonna subscribe. Thank you, man. So Unknown, I've been playing for around 30 years now, I think. We got Iron Maiden is saying something in an Asian language that I don't understand. Hi, what's up? Play your favorite riff. Whew, I don't know what that is. I like to jam, right? That's not my favorite riff. It's a little too much now. I didn't want this much. But this is in the Spongy ballpark. It's like would like a little bit more like body to it. I'll just try turning up the bass on the amp. That actually worked. That doesn't always work, but this, I think this is the crunch channel is basically Mesa Boogie's take on a Marshall amp a little bit, you know, and on those classic JCM amps, supposedly, you know, the bass and the middle knobs have almost zero effect. So on a normal like high gain amp, if you go from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock with the bass knob, that could totally blow your sound away and give you fuzz sound. But here it's like barely noticeable. I think this is pretty cool now. This is not extremely high gain, but it's getting in the spongy area. Oh, Jakey Lee, sorry, don't know any. Or I know, but that's Randy Rhoads. It's a bit too low end for that stuff. I don't mind adding a bit more distortion. I don't think I'm gonna do that with a tube screamer. Not bad, but... So what do you guys think, those of you who've been here for a while? Is the sound going in the right direction? Cool, Tony. Play the guitar as well, that's awesome. Yeah, it's always a challenge finding the right people to jam with. You want to connect on a personal and musical level. Painkiller, sorry, don't know it. When I come around. Sound like that? No. Something like that. I heard you crying loud. So I want this to have a more push. So I have a few options now. I could try the EQ and just basically... I have a 10-band EQ here and this one. And what that does, it can really help me shape the sound of the guitar coming into the amp, because it's first in the chain. So sometimes that can give you a push. It's a bit like basically tweaking the pickups on your guitar. So it does that. It's a little bit too much on the low end though. But before I do that, I just like to try to do something crazy and throw in the Friedman B OD in the mix. I don't think that's going to work, but it's worth a shot. I don't know Hotel California. Oh, look at this. For a while there it was getting pretty good, but now I don't know. I don't know, it did sound pretty cool for a while, but... but it easily becomes too much. So this is a bit crazy what I'm doing now. I'm stacking distortions like a madman. So we have the Tube Screamer overdrive going into the Friedman B overdrive. I'm not sure I'm going to keep that. It seemed promising, but it's not. I'm not sure it's really intended to do this. And turn off the Tube Screamer. Exactly. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. We have to try. Hardest riff. I'm not really warmed up. I don't know what that would be. Maybe something like that with lots of legato. I don't know. Yeah, the Friedman doesn't work here. It's too much, I think. No, can't make it work. I didn't think it would work either, in my defense. So, nah, the Friedman doesn't. I've never had any success. I've only had it for a couple of weeks, so I'm not the right guy to ask about it. But I've had great success with it on low gauge, low gain amp settings. Both using it as a super high gain amp. So turn up the gain, but also some cool like bluesy sounds. So it's capable of cool low gain stuff, but it doesn't at all do a similar thing as the Tube Screamer, which kind of shaping the sound in a positive way before it hits the high gain channel on the amp. So as I said, I haven't had any success yet with the Friedman BOD and a high gain channel on the amp. I'm not sure it's even intended to do that. J-Rock, pretty cool. I don't know any. Ooh, improve solos using pentatonic scale. That would be a good topic for another stream. So I use the pentatonic a lot. Even when riffing like that, Maybe you guys want to see what the heck I'm doing. You can hear the sound is getting pretty cool. So I'm going to go back, I think. Oh, wait, one more thing. I'm going to try adding parallel compression. Actually, compression can be very, very useful for rhythm sounds. And you can have a lot of compression, but you have to do it carefully. Because distortion in itself is a form of compression. So we can't really deny the existence of compression or being at the core of our high gain sounds. But let's try that. Okay, cool. So this does add something, right? It's a very light compression. So for those of you who don't know, on the Ego Wampler pedal, there's a blend knob, which is extremely useful. It basically gives you the option to mix in parallel compression, just the same way you would do with in a digital audio workstation like Logic Pro. You would not necessarily compress the whole signal, you would add it like through a parallel bus and just choose the amount of compression you want mixed with an unaltered signal. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So this adds something. Whether it's better or not, I'm not 100% sure. I think it does a little bit what I wanted it to do. Let's mess with the attack. Yeah, this is good. So what this does also, I think it allows me to do... Yeah, exactly. This is very cool. So I can play single note riffs here. And if I engage it, I don't know, somehow it makes it sound fuller. The compression kind of, I don't know, squashes it out a little bit, and it almost gives those single notes like chordal character. Pretty cool. Pretty good, actually. So, what are you guys saying? Jackson 5. Oh, that's an interesting request. I don't think I ever got that. I don't know. A, B, C. I don't know how to play that. Sorry, man. I have the tiger. Don't know it. So, this is pretty good now. Let's try, just for fun, adding the Dynacom. Much with both of them. So to me this is a pretty cool sound now, and it's also a great sound. I think it would work great in a mix as well. It has an interesting attack to it, which is getting into a spongy area. Still knob fiddling, that's right. Layla. Something like that. I never really played it. A little bit more distortion. Cool request, Ed. Okay, we can try add a little bit more distortion on the amp then and see what happens. I'm at 12 o'clock now. Let's go to 1:30. Yeah, you're right. Sounds awesome. Maybe a little bit less. So it's like 1 o'clock. Ooh, listen to this. Yes, Chris, this is live and real. I'm tweaking my amp here. I'm hoping it's going to be useful for you guys. I've also started profiling my sound, which is a lot of fun because it's interesting. I did the same thing with the looper pedal. I had a basic looper pedal. I couldn't save my sounds. So it was like, yeah, it was inspiring, but you know, I put in a lot of work to do one loop and I wanted to revisit it. So now I got the Ditto Plus pedal. It's this one. So I've started saving my loops, and it's awesome because I can build this loop library and just jam whenever I want to. And now it struck me that I could do the same with the amp setting here. I'm always dialing in a new tone almost every day, and then I just scratch it and start start all over again. But what if I could save those tones into a library? That would be awesome. And I've started doing that with the Kemper. So this is a lot of fun. But you have to agree, this is pretty cool now. I mean, I still a little on the low gain side, but I'm not sure turning up the amp gain does it for me. I think I'm going to work with the booster a little bit more. I could picture like single note riffing having a little bit more oomph, like it's a little bit dry. This would work perfectly if I'm overdubbing or panning right, doing like the double thing. Chris, you can always suggest a song, but I won't maybe know it. War Pig, I don't know. It's a cool track though. I especially like when Zakk Wylde plays it and sings it. So if I turn up the gain on the amp, I think it's a little bit too much now. It's okay, but I think I'm gonna try the booster first. So this is too much low end. But this is an EQ pedal, so I have a lot of control. So if you guys have any suggestions, this basically allows me to shape the tone coming up from my guitar. And I will maybe just try like a boost in the high end and see how that affects things. This could sound like crap, but we try it. Look at that, it didn't sound like crap. A little bit on the bright side maybe, but it's interesting. Let's do one peak high up in the spectrum. Let's do like this. That's gonna be crazy. Wow, this is cool. So this adds quite some presence. And then let's do one lower down and see if we can have two peaks. That didn't really improve things. Let's try it really far down just for the fun of it. So now I'm going into the danger area here, like 30 hertz. This is pretty cool. It's a little bit too loose, so let's add the peak maybe. Let's just do it at 60 hertz. This is better, so let's move it to 125. And go down 250. Wow. This is pretty cool. So I'm gonna go down at 1 kilohertz just to make that curve really round and beautiful. See if it. I don't know, Nuno Bettencourt something? pretty cool. Do a riff. It's hard to tune the guitar or to fine tune the tone. Oh, Chris, yeah, it's hard to use a pedal. It's a lot of tweaking. But I think a mistake you might do in the beginning is just to aggressively dial in a pedal. So you should try to make small changes. Start with the sound you like on the amp and then just make small changes. Because not only is that the best way to learn what all the different things do to the sound, but in general, if you make an aggressive change, it almost never sounds very good. That's a hard one, my favorite guitar to play. I like this one in terms of playability. It has the narrowest neck of all my guitars. So I think generally it's like 42 millimeters here, and this one is like 39.5 or something, so it's really easy to get your hand around it. So in terms of playability, it could very well be this one. I actually like one of my Strats, the blue one, and the red, like Les Paul style guitar for sound. But for playability, it depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I'm in Ibanez RG mood, and I'll go for that one. There's something in here that sounds really good, but it sounds more like some modern punk distortion. Doesn't quite have the punch I hoped for. Maybe we can try higher gain on the amp now that we've done this. I'm sorry to say that it sounded cool, but it didn't really add what I wanted it to do. We got into, like I said, more some stoner rock or something. I don't know. Chris, this guitar is an EVH Wolfgang Standard, and when I bought it 10 years ago from like a European web store, I got it for like 600 euros, I think. But everything is more expensive now, so I would assume it's like 800 or 900 or something. Metallica. I'm gonna do something crazy. Instead of having the wave go up and then down and then up, I'm just gonna up it all the time and see what happens. This is just gonna do a huge boost. This was actually pretty cool, but it's too much, so maybe if I try just having the boost on a specific spectrum. So now it peaks around 500 hertz. Let's see if that gives me the body I'm looking for. Ah, that's pretty good, isn't it? This did give me body, awesome. So, now, question is, can you hear the difference? It's off now. On. Pretty good, I would say. So. This is very good. So I have some options now. The curve is very subtle. So the curve is basically, let's see. Can you see this? So it's like, ooh, very soft. I could try doing like this and see if that. So let's have it not involved as a broad spectrum. I liked it the way I had it in the beginning. So again, to clarify what I'm doing now, I'm EQing the signal coming straight out of my guitar. So the first thing that the signal hits is this equalizer. So in a way, it's the same as kind of shaping the tone coming out from the guitar. It's a very different thing to tweak the EQ after the preamp, which is this. Does a totally different thing. It's more subtle what I'm doing, but it's also important because I'm shaping the starting point of the sound. And since the pickups I'm using are they're like bare knuckles take on a PAF, a patent applied for, like one of the most common humbucker pickups out there, unless you're going for something very high gain or something. So it has well, it's the sound of Les Pauls through the years, right? And then we started boosting the sound coming from the guitar. But so I'm what I'm doing is boosting a little bit via pedal now. So what I could do now is actually try to turn down the distortion a little bit on the amp. But this is nice. I think it's pretty good. I mean, the single notes are now juicy. That's a problem previously. I said, well, the chords sound okay, but the single notes are a little bit... there's a little bit of treble in here that I don't like. I want the presence, but there's a little bit of sharp treble, which could be good for a busy mix, but we don't need it for what we're trying to do here, which is basically trying to find a spongy and inspirational riffing sound. Cool, guys. You like it? Sweet Child of Mine. That sounds better with a bit of... It's really not the right sound for that, but... So I think maybe what I could do is actually start tweaking the cab, the IR for this. But I'm going to try first just turning down the treble a little bit on the channel here. And then turn up the gain on the amp. Ah, that's dangerous. It changes the character of the sound. Oh, this is interesting. I'm not just lightly adjusting the graphical EQ in the power amp. Force AG. I don't know what that is. Sorry. So, okay. Now I think I'm gonna try tweaking the IR, which has a major impact on the tone you're hearing. I haven't tweaked it that much recently. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Oh, there's a presence knob here. That's an easy one to try. So here's where we had it at. Turn it down a little bit. Too much, actually. I don't know if that did what I wanted to. Let's try. We can change the microphones. Oh, this is interesting. We can change the distance from the edge of the cone, basically. So this is the microphone. If the cone is here, so the middle of the speaker is here. So I'm moving the microphone away from it now. And now it's in the center. This is where I had it. Let's move it away a little bit. And this is good. Let's try moving it back. Move away a little bit further. So this is what gives you like an in the room kind of feeling when you twiddle or fiddle with these settings. This is pretty good. So I'm gonna. And then we also have the distance to the speaker, which has a major impact as well. So it's 26. Now it's very far away, and now we're. So actually we could try moving a little bit closer now, or because we moved away from the edge of the cone, that gives us a slightly less bright sound. So what we could do to compensate is move closer to the cone. I think it sounds pretty good, actually. Here's where we had that. We move closer. If we move away... Oh, wait, let's see here. No, I haven't changed anything yet. Let's move closer. Pretty nice. Let's move away. No, I think I want it closer. So something. To me, it sounds a bit Nunu Bettencourt-ish. I don't know. So the black box, Ulat, you mean the one I'm tweaking right now? This one? This is the More Radar. It's a very good cabinet simulator. So basically, if you're familiar with impulse responses, they're a very popular way to get a super cool sound without miking up your amp. So this is pretty much the same thing, but with more control. It basically allows me to, well, control the impulse response or just control the sound of the speaker. I don't know, kickstart my heart, sorry. So the cabinet, Joseph, the cabinet you're hearing now is actually a SVT bass cabinet. I don't know why I ended up using it. It just gave me the sound I wanted with like a room sound and really, I don't know, beefy, low-endy. Oh, the one on the bottom. So This is the MXR 10-band EQ, and this is a Ditto plus looper. So maybe it's the EQ you're thinking about. Okay, so this is, I think it's pretty good now. We could add like reverb and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how good that sounds for a rhythm sound. It's actually pretty cool because then if we engage a reverb, we can use this for lead. Pretty good. Chris, am I using all the pedals? No, let's go through the ones I'm using. So this is just a tuner. I'm using it when I tune. This is a noise suppressor. Without it, sounds like this. With it, I get less noise when I'm not playing. That's important. It doesn't change the sound when I'm playing, but it's engaged. This is a tube screamer. I'm using it. With it. It's very slight, but it gives you extra juice. The Friedman BOD, I ended up not using it, but if you rewind the tape later on, you can see me trying it. So I'm not using this one, the Friedman. I am using the Wampler Ego. So I don't know if Camel Toe is still around. He disappeared. But here you can see the pedals I am using, and they make a pretty cool difference. Dynacomp, I'm not using it. MXR 10-band EQ, I am using it. That's the first thing the guitar hits. The Ditto looper, I'm not using it, because if I were using it, it would sound like this. Oops. We can try the backings later on, but it's the levels are not optimized for this one right now. So, and then I introduce a little bit of reverb. Whoops, a little bit of reverb, but I'm not using the digital delay. And I'm not using the Angel in chorus. So, 1, 2, 3. You could say 3 tone shaping pedals is what I'm using for the sound, and then it hits the amp. Well, what do you guys think about the sound now? Is there something you'd like to see me do differently? Just for fun, I'm gonna try different microphones, but it won't work very well. I mean, they sound awesome, but they make such a big difference. I would have preferred to have them from the beginning when tweaking the sound. Here's a classic SM57. Doesn't sound very good as it's configured now, but that's because of the distance to the cone and stuff like that. It's a good one, V47, and this is the one I was using all the time, V87. Let's try the 47. Sounds good, but again, I would have to redo a lot, I think, if I were to use this one. So go back and try different tubes. I like that you can do that. So I can go from EL34s to, let's see here, EL84s, 6L6. V6 sound pretty cool. EL34 sound pretty good. This is the kind of thing that can affect sponginess. Actually, I prefer the EL34s here. It has more spongy, kind of lower mids and less harsher top end if we compare to the EL84. EL34. Yeah, especially the low end, I find it to be more interesting in the 34 here. That's good. So I'm going to keep that one. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's what we have. I'm going to give the presence knob another. Sounds good as it is there. Okay, so I'm going to save this. Awesome. This is one of my most used presets. I think I improved it a little bit here. Save. Wow. Ooh. I think we dealt with low end pretty good here. I don't really hear a little bit, but it's nothing that kind of overshadows anything. That's always a challenge, you know. Your low end can really ruin the sound, flatten it, and just ruin the higher frequencies. Paranoid. Oops. I don't know it very well. Cool. So I think I'm going to be off profiling this one right now. I want to keep the sound. Again, I'm very excited about building up a library with my tones here. And like I would have done it previously, then I would have just have, I would have recorded a few shorts with this sound and then I would have moved on. But now it struck me that I can keep this, and it's awesome. I'm even going to keep it with the EQ setting there. I don't know any rack. Or do you mean the pedal? Cool. So thanks a lot for joining me in this session. It's always fun exploring new stuff here, and I'm hoping that what I'm doing here maybe can give you some insight into maybe how you can go about tweaking your tone. And I want to emphasize, you certainly don't need all these pedals or the amps. With the thinking strategies that I'm applying to my tone here, You can do that with basically free or low-cost software on your computer. It's the same thing. You got to listen for balance. You know, you change one thing there, and then maybe you got to change another thing there. And it's a good thing if you're new to this, you can reference listen. So just listen to, you can find, if you search for isolated studio tracks on YouTube. So if you search for, I don't know, isolated studio tracks, Black Album, you're going to find Enter Sandman. You can compare your tone with that. I'm not looking to mimic anybody else's tone here. I'm just looking to find an inspirational tone so that I can record my shorts with them. This is inspirational, so chances are you're going to find some shorts recorded with this sound tomorrow or the day after, sometime soon. We'll see, hopefully. Boglim, my instrument here is a Wolfgang EVH. EVH is the brand, Wolfgang Standard. The compressor was really good here. It did a lot of the sponginess. And it's easy to turn this into a lead sound. Or at least one you can use. Cool. So thanks a lot for tuning in. You've been absolutely wonderful. I've been Christopher Dahl. Thank you so much for watching. See ya. There, you want to see my face at the end, maybe. Here we go. See ya.